My name is Brooke, and I am wife to Brandon and mother to Ruben and Ezra. Soon after Brandon and I got married, we decided to start trying to grow our family. After several months of trying, we slowly started to realize that it may not be as easy as we had thought. We went to the doctor, and I was referred to a specialist, and it was during some tests that there seemed to be some concern. At this point in my faith, I would say I was lukewarm. I definitely wasn't as reliant on God's guidance and plan for my life, and I slowly began to feel that things were not going as planned. During this time, Brandon and I decided that we wanted to start the process of becoming foster parents. This was something that had been on my heart for a number of years. It was during this time that I found out I was pregnant. It was exciting and hard to believe. But shortly after, I started to miscarry. That was a hard time for both Brandon and I. After a few weeks, my body just wasn't going back to normal, and I was still having miscarriage symptoms, but they were just getting more intense. So intense that I lost movement in my shoulder. I was consistently bloated and started to have bruising around my abdomen. I went to Emerge numerous times and saw doctors, but no one paid much attention to my symptoms. It got so bad that I went to Emerge one evening by myself, and it was then they found out that I had internal bleeding from an ectopic pregnancy. I had emergency surgery that evening and had my fallopian tube removed. The recovery period from that was pretty tough, now knowing it would only make starting our family a little tougher, along with added risk for a second ectopic pregnancy. But during this time, I grew in my faith. I knew that I had a choice and that I could have become angry with God and bitter. But I decided to use this story for His glory, and that even if I wasn't meant to have children, I was still going to become a foster parent. My faith had strengthened so much during this time, and I'm so thankful that God allowed me to learn through this struggle and survive. After my ectopic pregnancy, I was told I needed to be very careful and that I could get pregnant again, but I would need to be monitored closely. 6 months after my surgery, I found out we were pregnant again. I was absolutely terrified because I knew that if this embryo did not make it to my uterus and I had a second ectopic, then I would not be able to ever have children naturally. So we quickly started blood work and every other day and numerous ultrasounds, and we were finally able to confirm the baby was indeed in the right spot. It was beautiful, and my faith was just becoming stronger and more resilient. That next year, we got to meet our little Ruben, and it was incredible. We were so thankful for our son and that the journey had not only strengthened our relationship with God, but also our marriage as well. Soon after having Ruben, we found out we were pregnant again with little Ezra. I was again blown away by God's grace and mercy because I felt as if I didn't deserve it. I felt as if it would never happen again and that Ruben would have been the only child you would have had. Being a mother has changed my life in so many ways, and I'm forever grateful for these little humans that God has placed in our home. Brandon and I are still passionate about helping children in temporary care and possibly adopting later on. We want to serve and love others as this is the way we believe God is guiding our lives and our marriage. Being a mother is not always just about biological children, but it's also about all the children we can have an impact on throughout our life. We can lead and strengthen others around us and can show that there is a God that is stronger than we know, a God that is with us. Mother's Day is not an exciting day for every woman or mother. I realized through this journey that it can be filled with heartache, sadness, the feeling of loss, along with joy and cheerful tears. I learned that when we trust in Jesus, surrender our life to His ways, and we are willing to be guided by Him, we can get through the tough times, even if they're overwhelming and feel impossible to get through.